My mother-in-law's helpful suggestions about my parenting had turned into a hostile takeover of my family life in suburban Portland. Margaret moved in after her husband died, promising it would be temporary. That was 18 months ago. Since then, she'd reorganized my kitchen, redecorated my children's rooms, and convinced my husband David that I was overwhelmed and needed her constant supervision. I couldn't discipline my own kids, choose their clothes, or even decide what to cook for dinner without her interference. The worst part was how she undermined me in front of my children. When I'd set a bedtime, she'd whisper that they could stay up later. When I'd pack their lunches, she'd add extra treats and tell them, "Grandma knows what you really like." My 5-year-old had started saying "Grandma says" as a response to everything I asked him to do. David refused to see the problem. "She's just trying to help," he'd say whenever I brought up Margaret's behavior. "You should be grateful to have extra support." But I wasn't being supported. I was being replaced in my own home. The final incident happened during my daughter's 6th birthday party. I'd planned everything for weeks, but Margaret had secretly invited additional people, ordered a different cake, and changed the party theme without telling me. When parents started arriving confused about the location and timing, Margaret loudly announced that she'd fixed my inadequate planning. I watched my daughter's confusion as Margaret directed the entire party while I stood like a guest in my own backyard. That night, after everyone left, I packed bags for myself and the children. David found me loading the car. "Where are you going?" he demanded. "To my sister's house," I replied. "When you decide whether you married me or your mother, let me know." We stayed in Seattle for 2 weeks. David called every day, first angry, then pleading, finally understanding. "She has to go," he admitted on day 12. "I can't lose you over this." When we returned, Margaret was already packing. The conversation was brief and painful, but David held firm. It took months to rebuild the children's respect for my authority and to rediscover my confidence as a mother. Margaret sends passive-aggressive holiday cards and makes snide comments during the kids' weekly phone calls with David's family. But my house feels like mine again. My children listen when I speak, and David has finally learned the difference between helping and enabling. I started a mom support group at our community center for women dealing with similar situations. We meet every Thursday, sharing strategies for setting boundaries and reclaiming our roles as mothers. Sometimes the most important thing we can teach our children is that everyone, even grandparents, must respect the people in charge of the home.